Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. And if you are returning, also welcome. You are obviously here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. So today is Sunday, it is April 2nd. I have absolutely no idea where March went. Zoomed on fast. Here we are, it's April already. So today I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to be able to show you everything that I worked on in March. I'm not actually positive. I knew that if I took the time to sit down and really work out a plan to show everything I was working on and my plans for April and put it in order, yada yada, I was not going to get to filming because today was just moving right along, and here it is. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon already. So I figured I would just grab my bin. My bin has all of my plans for April. Grab my bag of stuff that I've been throwing in there to show you guys over the past month and jump right in. So it might be a smidge bit scattered, but we're here, right? Okay, so we will jump right in. The first thing that I am seeing in the bag next to me is an FFO. So super excited. Last month I was able to frame another bird for these tiny little birds on the bird wall. So we are up to 3 birds on the bird wall, one in January, February, March. So somehow I'm actually on track to do 1 FFO a month. So good to go there. Here it is. Let's see. Okay, the one that I framed, I've got the pattern here first. So this is Berries and Robins. It is a Madame Chantilly piece. Theirs looks like this. It is the middle of the afternoon. I already said it's 4 o'clock, so the lighting in here is like super bright. It's like I had to block out the immediate sun and my lights are doing something kind of strange. But that's okay. You can't see it very well in this photo, but I think you can see it good in the finished piece. Okay. This is it framed. It's going to be some glare. Obviously mine doesn't look exactly like that. So I stitched mine, I'm gonna have to go back and look, but obviously this is a green background for the fabric. And I substituted a lot of these birds, so you can see here in the original, maybe if it will focus, they're more of a flat brown, and I used a lot of color in cotton to substitute out the brown and the pink in the birds. And then I just used whatever I had on hand. I believe I used DMC for these berries, DMC for this branch, some B5200 for the white, and then, like I said, the birds were done with color and cotton. So it's funny, when you look at this in real life, you don't even notice, but like you can see like some wrinkles going on in here. When it's framed and up, don't see it at all. But the second you put it on like one of these HD lenses, then you're like, did I miss that when I ironed it? No. I feel the HD lens does the same thing for your face, so it's fine. But I love that this piece says home. I love that it has the birds. I thought about putting this piece in our entryway, and I still might, but I want to put it up on the bird wall for now, just until I get more pieces framed, simply because it's a ginormous wall, and when I only have those 2 little things up there, it looks weird. So we'll put this on this side, and that may help things. We'll see. So anyway, that is the FFO. It is framed by me with a frame that I picked up at probably Michael's or something along those lines. But it turned out really good. I will say, just in doing the last few framings that I've worked on, just from the berries and birds one that I did right there to this one, it's already improving. So just a little bit of practice is going a long way. I have a long way to go, but we have stuff for the wall. So, okay, that was the FFO. I had a finish last month, very exciting. It's a small finish, but it's still a finish. So let's see, this is in my Garan bag. I love these little creatures. I guess you call them critters, not creatures. When I think of creatures, I think of like reptiles and such. these are all furry, so they're critters. All right, I have in here, this is a magazine piece. So I was working on the Cozy Animals from Cross Stitch Crazy, and this is issue number 22. Looks like this. And what I stitched from here, I had it in this bag and I didn't have it bookmarked. So, or I did have a bookmark at one time, but you know how it is. You put it in your bag and it just gets lost. So that's okay though. Every time I flip through one of these magazines, it just makes me want to stitch 10 more things from it. So, the one downside. There they are. Okay, Cozy Critters. So, these are the Cozy Critters. And I've already finished the polar bear, and I was just working on the penguin. They obviously have theirs stitched on like a cardstock or a plastic canvas. I am stitching mine on a piece of Aida. So this was the polar bear that was finished a long time ago. And the one that I just finished was the adorable penguin. Now last time you guys saw him, he was just about done. I had forgotten his foot and I didn't have the white filled in. I was just gonna leave it, but when I started to put some white in there, I could really see a difference. So he is now filled in, he is fully complete. And I have my little bird and the year 23. You can see that. There you go. So he is finished. I am going to do all 4. As you can see, I've got 2 more sections that I can put them on. They're not going to stay on here long term. They're going to be taken, you know, cut apart and probably put into either some cards or maybe even some ornaments, something along those lines in the future. But that one is finished. So I don't know which one I'm going to stitch next. Depends. We'll see. I do want to start another one though, not in April, but I think I have it down to start in May. So you'll see those guys come back out again. All right. The rest of that bag is just a tiny little bit of haul, so we'll go over that at the end. So that brings me into my plan bucket. And my plan bucket has a lot of the stuff that I worked on in March, so we'll just do that at the same time. Plan bucket, see if I can pick this up. It's heavy. The plan bucket. Yeah, it's a lot, so. But I love this basket so much. Okay, so the month of April. So things I'm going to be working on, or I guess challenges that I'm working on are, I did write these down. So my 25/7 piece, I'll show you my 25/7 piece for March. It was the Adventure Sampler. That's the first one up that I'll show you. But this month, in the month of April, I'm going to be working on the temperature tree. So I will show you where I'm at because it's somewhere in this pile. I think, I say this every month, it's yet to happen, but I think I can finish it in April. Maybe, we'll see. So 25/7, I'll be working on that. I know you're all familiar with 25/7 at this point because I know I bring it up all the time and so do many other Flosstubers. But 25/7 is something that Melanie Watkins from Soulful Stitching, she came up with it. The idea is you put in 25 stitches or 25 minutes of work every night just to see how far you can get. So I'm choosing a piece, just one piece each month, and no rhyme or reason. One month it was a new start. The last 2 months it's been pieces that I thought I could finish in that amount of time, but March I may have done it, but I didn't do 25 minutes every night, so didn't happen. It's okay. So 25/7. And then for the Magazine Monthly Challenge, that is the group that I run with my friend Carolyn, Seaswick Stitch. I have my plans for that laid out. So for Magazine Monthly Challenge, our theme this month is library. And obviously, library, it could be, we try to choose places that you can travel to or places you could go for the big theme this year, right? So library is a place that we go to. It's a place I go to all the time. And so I like this theme because you can choose maybe something that reminds you of your favorite book or your favorite character or of reading, or there's just all different ways you can take the theme of library. So I've got a piece for that. And then our acrostic is shelves. So it's a great acrostic because it's got some multiple letters, right? Like double S's, double E's. So I'm going to get some good time on some projects there. And then I had a new start this month, and the new start, I haven't started it yet. I kitted it up yesterday, but I'll be starting that tonight. So I have a new start, which is a Madame Lafitte piece, and I will go into that here in just a moment. So, all right, let's get into looking at some of this stuff. Okay, first up, my 25/7 piece from March. It is also 2 of my letters in my Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic, was the Adventure Sampler by Sam Stitches. So, let's see. All right, Adventure Sampler is in this adorable bag. This is from the 805 Stitcher. I absolutely love it. Okay. This is what it looked like in the store when I bought it. It is a kit. It is a kit that came with all silks from Be Stitch Me. I never worked with Be Stitch Me silks before. I love Be Stitch Me fabric, and the silk is okay. I'm not great at working with silk in general, I think. I need more practice with it. I'm not good at having it lay flat, and I don't necessarily think it's this silk's fault. I think it's a me problem, not a silk problem or this brand of silk problem. I just need more practice, but that's okay. I'm still enjoying it. So, all right, let's look at this. So I worked on this, I think, 17 or 18 days in the month of March, and the rest of the time I just didn't get to any stitching on those days. So we are here. Obviously my fabric is much darker than the photo, but it's a really pretty fabric. This fabric actually will match my living room extremely well. So when this piece is done, it's going to be framed and it's going to go up on, I have a built-in where my TV is at in the living room, so this is going to match perfectly. I have most of the motifs done. So obviously we have a Bigfoot here, we have a bear, which I think looks like a capybara is what I keep calling it. The eagle, and we've got some type of a beehive, bonsai tree looking thing, little bees. But I just finished the house this morning. Yeah, just this morning I got this blue door in. This blue you're going to see all throughout the border because there's all these beautiful birds that go around the outside. So all that I have left on the inside of this piece is there's a big cloud right in here. And then this is the bottom of a deer. So I need to finish the deer, finish this tree. There's a tree right here. And then put in the cloud. Once I do that, the whole rest of the time is going to be border. So I've already completed 2 hours on this piece. I did that yesterday. So one of my acrostic letters is done. This is going to be used for the S's. So shelves has 2 S's. So one of the prompts is already done. So I've got 2 more hours to work on this. Once that 2 hours is done, I'm going to keep this out because it's going to be semi-close to a finish. I mean, I'm by no means going to finish the border in 2 hours. The border is very complicated. So you can see it's like all curly cued up here. You put birds scattered throughout. It's going to take me a minute. But if April goes the way that I'm hoping it's going to go, I should get a lot of stitching time in, or at least more than what I have been getting in. And I think I'm going to get through more than just my acrostic and 25/7. Which means this can come back out. So anyway, it is beautiful. I stitched a house. To my cross stitch friends who know me well, you all know that I start stitching houses and I'm like, is this thing ever gonna be done, right? It's a tiny house, but it's done. So, all right, that is the Adventure Sampler. Okay, I'm trying to figure out the best place to put all these. I'm gonna go with on the floor next to me. All right, next up, this is my travel piece that I work on in the car. Obviously this is not it. This is my That's So Kelly board. I just love these. So normally I would take a marker, a dry erase marker obviously, and I write the colors down here. But this is a kit from a Mill Hill kit, and I know the order that these are in, so I don't really have to do that. So, all right. So my travel piece when I'm in the car, I usually have a Mill Hill kit with me. I'm not great at stitching while driving. Okay, wait. I don't stitch while drive. I'm not great at stitching while being in the passenger seat, being driven. Let's put it that way, because I get car sick. But if we're on a longer road trip or taking back roads somewhere where it's just kind of a straight shot, our freeways are usually stop and go, so it makes me car sick. But you know, if it's a trip that I can easily stitch on, I will break this out. And if we make any errands where I'm just kind of waiting in the car, it's nice to have this around. So, all right, this piece, it's kind of tangled. I keep this one in my Crafty Corey stitches. Crafty Corey, she creates bags for acorns and threads. I just love her bags. Looks like this. It's a smaller one. Front looks like this. Love it. All right, this is a Mill Hill kit. It is a Buttons and Beads winter series, and it's called Winter Woods. So I love this. Obviously, I love aspen trees. They're tattooed on my arm. Love them. And I love the cardinal in there, and the colors are just beautiful. Say, I've been weirdly drawn to blue this year. I don't even like the color blue, usually. Didn't used to, anyway. But this year, like, bring on the blue. Maybe my friend Carolyn has influenced me. I don't know. But anyway, which way does this go? It goes this way. Okay. When you first start a piece, it looks the same every direction. But we are here. So I started this piece in March. Yes, I started this piece just last month while I was traveling. And I got about, well, all the way to here, right? Because it's only April 2nd. But I haven't worked on this piece in a little while. So I'm planning to put this piece back in the car so I can get some more stitches done on it. I do have a long road trip, not that long, but a fairly long road trip coming up in mid to late April. I'm going to Las Vegas for Stitch Shenanigans, so I'm very excited about that. But we're driving, so I'll be working on this guy on the trip up. Doesn't look like much yet, but it is coming right along. So this piece, it's a kit, so called for everything, and I am completely following the directions. Doesn't happen often, but I'm doing, like, for example, this white is 3 pieces of floss versus the blue, which is only 2 strands of floss. So I'm trying to be mindful about how many strands of floss we're using, and if it's a full cross or a half cross. I am the worst at paying attention to that, so mindfulness, follow directions, that's where we're at. All right. By the way, this bag is just the perfect size for a Mill Hill kit. I love it. And for taking in the car to travel. Okay. Next up. All right, next up in the plans is my new start. So this is in my Garon bag. I picked this one up on their last bag sale. It is the one for winter. It's like winter snowflakes or something like that. It's just beautiful. This is not a Christmassy piece, but I love the clean color of white and silver. It just looks nice. I don't know how long it's gonna stay looking like that, but I love it. And typically I'm stitching on something Christmassy at all times throughout the year, except for maybe this month. So, oh, I lied. That's not what was in this bag. Okay, this bag is my Magazine Monthly Challenge theme piece. So the theme is library. So I chose a piece that was kind of whimsical. I like to read fantasy books, and this piece for some reason it's just whimsical, right? So it kind of took me to more of a fantasy feel. And I haven't taken this out. I think I started this for Mania in 2020, and I have not pulled this piece out since then. So it might take me a minute just to figure out where the heck I was, but I'm excited to get back into it. So the piece I'm going to be working on is Glistening Owl. It is from the World of Cross Stitching, issue 56. Looks like this. It's an oldie but goodie. Okay. Again, we did not mark the page yet because I took this one out of the bin, put it on a Q-snap, and that is as far as I got on this one. I'm going to try to find it real quick. Let's see. On the front cover, they put a sticker right over the piece that said the page number. So, all right, page 26. Let's see. Let's not show the pattern. Okay, there it is. All right, so the front cover calls it the Glistening Owl, but in reality, it's called Fabulous Feathers. It is done by Shannon Wasseleaf, maybe? Just beautiful. There is seed beads all over the place, all kinds of gorgeous colors, just stunning. And I don't know, owls and books to go together. I liked it. So yeah, this piece is on Magazine Monthly Challenge. It is my theme piece, which means 4 hours at some point during this month. I think it goes this way. We'll see. So this is where I'm at. Obviously, I have a long ways to go. I will talk about what fabric I have it on and all of that on my next video because it's somewhere in this bag. But this is where I am. It is already beautiful, even though there's a ways to go. So I'm really excited to watch this one grow. And can you imagine this on the bird wall? I mean, it's a completely different feel than the two I have there and the one I have framed, but it's going to be beautiful. And the whole point of a bird wall, at least for me, is to have all different types of birds, all different types of frames, all over the whole wall, right? Because birds are just, they're so unique. All right, next up, this is, I'm gonna peek this time. Yeah, this is my 25/7 piece. So in this Garan bag, which is, I love this one. It just reminds me of spring. I'll talk a little bit about life maybe towards the end, but I have started a mini garden here at my house. My daughter and I, we got some seeds and we just started some vegetables. We got one of those above ground planters, and what did we do? I think we did zucchini, bell pepper, carrots, and I don't know, there's one other, bell pepper, carrots, I don't know, one other type of vegetable, but we got them all planted, and I've really been enjoying going and watering them. They're already starting to grow, and we got some strawberry plants that are actually producing strawberries. So anyway, it's been very fun. Who knew I would like gardening? And so this bag speaks to me even more now. So side note. All right, so 25/7 piece, 25 minutes a night, temperature tree. This was done by Stitching Mommy. I started this last year before. All my years blend together the last few years, honestly. But my volume's on off. Anyway, so I'm here. All that I need to stitch on this piece is the tree. Turn my volume off real quick. So I am not going to continue stitching the leaves. I'm just going to stitch the tree. And the reason that I'm doing that is because when I started this tree during a normal time. And by the time I got up in here, what is this, January, February, March, began April, that was just a really difficult time in my life. A good time, but a time where I was definitely not stitching. I was moving out of my old house and all kinds of family stuff was happening. So this is kind of a remembrance piece of what was going on during this year. So if I can finish the tree, it's gonna look interesting. I still think it's gonna be beautiful and it's still gonna be a great memory, but I'm not gonna finish the leaves. I'm gonna leave it just like this. So 25 minutes a night, stitching just the branches. I think I can finish it. We should just make a count of how many times I say that throughout this year, and then come December, we'll see how many there are. But I'm feeling good about this one. So you guys will see this one in the next video. Hopefully it will grow more. Okay, let's see. Next up. Aha, here is the new start. Okay, new start. I just got finished kitting it up yesterday. This is a Madame Lafille piece. I am stitching this piece with my friend Carolyn from Seasook Stitch and my friend Andrea, who does not have a Flosstube channel, even though she should, because she stitches beautiful pieces and tons of them. But anyway, so stitching with those two, we actually made a hashtag, which we never do. The hashtag though is Madame Lafille Sal. So there are a number of people who are going to be jumping on board with this stitch along, because there's a bunch of people who are stitching pieces from Madame Lafille. So here is one I chose. Just so you know, you don't have to choose the same Madame Lafille piece. I think I'm stitching the same one as Carolyn, but you can stitch anything Madame Lafille that you want. When we first talked about doing this, my friend Carolyn and Andrea and I, we saw some Madame Lafille pieces. They were actually on sale at 123 Stitch. And of course, we all love Gary from Garon Toten Bags. So we reached out to Gary and asked if he could get these in his shop. He is great if they can get them in their shop and you message them. If they can get them, then they will, and that's what we did. So he got these in his shop, and I ordered a few of them, which I'll show you later. But the one that I chose to stitch is, well, this one about a garden. I don't know what it says. La Doucière du Jardin. I don't know. Let's see. It's still in the plastic. It will be out of the plastic by the next video. But I loved the little birds. Like I said, I've been really into gardening all of a sudden. So this really spoke to me. These flowers really spoke to me. I don't love these ones up here, but when they all come together, it's just going to be beautiful. All of these Madame Lafille pieces, they remind me of scrapbook pages. So I think they're very interesting. Let's see. Mine is being held in another Crafty Cory Stitches bag. This is the one that she made for me with the same fabric as what she had at the Pacific Northwest Summit where I first met Cory. So beautiful. Let's see. I'm going to be using the Called For DMC. I don't really like to just use what I have in my stash because I just have so many threads. But when it comes to pieces like this, where you've got all different colors, you know, I mean, this is not a Haid, obviously, but something like a Haid, or even something a little bit more simple, but something where they've clearly put, you know, time and effort into shading. Like if there's shading of something involved, I'm not good enough to like pick out my whole color scheme yet and make sure that the shading is still working the way that theirs is. So I'll only really substitute out colors if it's like blocks of color, right? So Called For DMC. And then I picked a fabric that's just a smidge grayer than the one that they call for. So I'm going to stitch mine on a 36 count Be Stitch Me fabric. It's called Artemis. It's a linen. And keep it folded so it shows better. Looks like this. Calm down, light, calm down. Let's see. There we go. That's pretty true. So it is definitely grayer, but it's got a blue tint to it still. So that should be really pretty. I liked this. I like the way that this looks here, but I wanted the lettering to pop a little bit more, and I just wanted a little bit more gray than blue, because even though blue has been speaking to me this month, or this year, I guess, it's still not my favorite. I still prefer the grayer tones. So we're starting that this month. Again, if you have a Madame Lafille, then join us in stitching it. If you don't, you can get one from Gary or anywhere else. But if you already are stitching one, then definitely tag it on the Instagram. Madame La Fille Sal. So excited to start this. This will be started tonight, actually. Okay, next up, let's see. It's not on the Q-snap. So, what is it? There it is. Okay. Next up, Jack Frost's Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks, Part 1. So I am going to be stitching this one for the letter H and the letter L in the acrostic. So it'll be H because there is a house. So this is it here. Try to let it focus here. Obviously, there's a house in this piece. And then I'm going to be stitching it for the L because it's by Little House Needleworks. So I am eventually going to be stitching all of the pieces in the, I don't know how many pieces there are, 3, 6, 9, 10 pieces in this altogether. But this is the banner that goes across the top. Will look like this eventually. I have not pulled this one out in a while, so I don't think there's been any progress since last time you saw it, but that's okay. Show you where I'm at. I am stitching it on Called For Everything. We are here. Try to get it so it's not so crooked. There we go. All right, so my house is pretty much complete, but that's all right. It could still work for the acrostic. I've got all of this here to fill in still, and all kinds of trees scattered throughout. So 4 hours, it's slotted for 4 hours of work this month. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. But excited to watch this one continue to grow. I made pretty much all of this progress, all but maybe an hour was done on the 25/7 challenge in January. So this was a new start for January that I only stitched on every night for 25 minutes a day. And I was really good in January and I actually kept up with it. So get a bunch done in 25 minutes. Okay. Last but not least on the plans is New Year in the Village from Alessandra Adelaide. So I worked on this one in February for my 25/7 piece. I worked on it all but maybe 3 or 4 nights, so a pretty good amount of progress. But I want to keep it in my rotation because I want to continue working on it. It is part of my, I forget what it's called, but whatever whip, finish the whips, something like that. It's completely jumped out of my brain. It happens. But it's on my list of whips to finish for this year. So I want to keep it in the rotation. It is on here for both of the letter E's in the word shelves. So I chose E because New Year in the Village, I started on New Year's Eve, and it's very much a New Year's Eve theme because there's fireworks and so on. So, all right, this one is being kept in my vintage Peter Pan Garand bag, another favorite of mine. It'll one day look something similar to this. Called For DMC, with the exception of the fireworks, because I'm changing out some of the fireworks stuff. I'm using some sparkly fabric, or sparkly floss for that. And obviously I'm using sparkly fabric. So it's on the Q-snap, I didn't take it off all the way. What I worked on for 25/7 though, was I finished this green guy. So when I started it in the month, and there's a lot of stitches in this greenhouse, little like Whoville house, right? When I started it, it was like most of the clock was done, and the dark green was done, and some of the light green, just a little bit. So I finished the outline, I got some of the snow done, all of this fill in, and then there's actually some sparkly DMC there done in the clock face. Can't really tell, I say the lighting is not the best today, but looks like that. So this is going to stay in the rotation. 4 hours total, 2 hours each letter. Obviously these holes are for the firework. I'm going to wait till the end to do the big fireworks, just because I don't want the DMC to get in the Q-snap for too long, because I'm just worried it's going to get caught or it's a lot rougher, and so I don't want it to snag. So we're going to do that at the end, but that is where we are. You can tell from here, I still have like this big batch of houses right here, and there is a lot of stitching in these houses. The good news is it's big blocks of color. The bad news is it's big blocks of color, right? Like you can outline it and you can, it doesn't take long, but it's better than a house because they're not just like square houses. They've got a little bit more character to me because they're like Whoville looking houses, but they're just, it's a lot of stitches and they're pretty big. So I have this little grouping, and then I still have both of the fireworks to do. Obviously this will not be done this month, but I'm going to keep it in my rotation because I do want to finish it this year. So, oh, the fabric, one of my very favorite pieces of fabric. This is Storm by Stephanie. I don't remember her name. It'll come to me. By the end of this video, it'll come to me. But it's Storm, and obviously it is sparkly and beautiful. So, all right, that is it for a mix of what I worked on and plans. So 25/7, the Temp Tree, Magazine Monthly Challenge, theme is library. We're going to do the owl. The acrostic is shelves, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 with Madame Lafitte. So 4 pieces that I'm going to do for that acrostic. The Madame Lafitte is a Sal and a new start for the month. And I think all of that will keep me pretty busy. So, all right. All that I have left to show you is a little bit of haul, maybe a little bit of life, and that should wrap this up. We are 36 minutes in, so a little bit over my normal 30-minute mark, which is good because I have lots to show. So, okay, haul. It's not that much. So I did get my market order in. I will probably show that to you next video. I didn't order that much, handful of charts really, but you can't see around me. I'm forever reorganizing this room, but it's like it's almost there. I'm getting some shelves built in the closet, moved the closet doors so I can see everything. It's a little crazy, but it's going to be pretty glorious when we're done. But part of doing that is I'm going through literally all of my charts. I haven't printed out the ones that I've purchased from Etsy. I don't have very many that I've gotten from Etsy just because I typically stitch with a regular chart, right? I don't do a whole lot of digital. I probably will in the future. It's just not what I gravitate towards usually. Anyway, I have all of my printed charts that I'm going through, and I've been stitching for a really long time, which means I have charts from 20 years ago that I used to love, but they don't really speak to me anymore. So I will be destashing quite a bit. You know, things that I know I will never stitch, it's just going to find a new home. Because why not, right? Get it to somebody who's actually going to use it. But I think what will be fun in doing that is to go through my own stash pile, right? And just kind of show what I have to you guys on each video. So, you know, like we'll do letter A on one video and work our way through. I did that a long time ago with the Victoria samplers that I had, and it was really fun just to say, here's everything I have from this artist or this designer. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, so I had put away some of my market orders because I was just trying to make sure I had enough space, because the way that I have them organized right now, it's kind of tight. So don't think it's going to work out, but we'll find a permanent solution. Okay, sidetracked. Haul. So I did a small order from Garon Toten Bags when I did the Madame Lafitte, and that is what I'm going to show you. So I got the one that I'm working on, which was the garden. Then I also picked up Fleur Bleu, which, because again, the color blue has been speaking to me this year, and it's got beautiful birds. Definitely looks like a scrapbook piece, but it is gorgeous. And then, because I love Christmas, I had to have this one too. This is Un Noël en Or. And I'm not a huge fan of the nutcrackers, but this one, it just seemed very elegant. And I love this Christmas tree. Christmas tree is beautiful. And it will will match all the rest, right? No idea what I will ever do with these when they're stitched, but they're beautiful. So I picked up those. And then, I don't know why, this one just, it showed up, you know how when you're on the site and then one will just show up as either new or it's just on the list of charts. It caught my eye. I really loved it. This is Alice by RETM. Looks like this. I love this one. It's like a Quaker Alice. I'm not usually a Quaker fan, but I love the fact that you have Alice sitting here. You can't really see it just because of the glare, but there's the little white rabbit is here with a little doodad in his belly. And then all of the Quakers are underneath, and it's like she's looking down the rabbit hole, right, at all these different Quakers. And I just really love it. My daughter loves Alice in Wonderland, and it just spoke to me. So this is one that when I kit it up, I'll probably just do it from stash. So it may not be these exact colors, but I think I can come up with something close. So look forward to that. And then the last one that I ordered from Gary, which was completely random. I don't even know why I got it other than she's beautiful and I still love her. So I ordered a Bella Filipina, which I don't think I own any Bella Filipinas yet, but I love this one. This is Holly Berry Pixie, and I really like her. I like that it's Christmassy. I like the reds. She looks like this. There we go, a little bit better. Her fairy wings are beautiful. I would probably not stitch her on this color background just because it doesn't really match anything I own. But I do have a piece of fabric that looks very close to this, so maybe I will actually. I love that she's got this really pretty brown hair. You know, most of the pixies like usually, you know, lighter hair, but she's very pretty. So I picked her up. No idea when I'm going to stitch her, but again, I saw it and added it to the order. So that was my Garan order, and that is the end of the haul tote. So my haul tote, of course, is my Acorns and Threads bag. I got this during the retreat that I went to. It wasn't a year ago, but it feels like a year ago because it's now time to sign up for that one again. And so I just can't believe it's already been like a year from the time that I signed up for this retreat. Bananas. I did sign up for the Acorns and Thread retreat this year. I'm on the wait list, so we'll see if we get in. I was slow to the game. I don't think I signed up until, like, you could sign up on one day and I didn't sign up till the following day, and it was that evening. So we'll see. It's not that big of a retreat. I'm hopeful, but we'll see what happens. Retreats, I do have a good amount of retreats coming up this year. So here in April, I am going to attend, it's called Stitch Nanigans. It is a retreat in Las Vegas. I am in Arizona, so this retreat for me is somewhat local. I could drive there. It's fairly inexpensive just because I didn't have to worry about airfare, and the hotel was not horrible. So that is, I think, April 20th or April 21st, late April. So that'll be really fun. I will do a video about that as it gets a little bit closer. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch while I'm there, other than I know I'm going to work on my Mill Hill piece on the drive there. I'm going to go there with my boyfriend, so it should be like a mini vacation / stitching retreat, and I don't have to drive. Double win. So yeah, so I have that one coming up in April, and then let's see. I really wanted to go to the retreat from Gary, the Gary and Ronnie retreat in Florida, but finances this year, it just didn't work out. The Florida retreat is so much farther away, and when I add airfare and you know, if I go to Florida, I would want to take some additional days because I've never been to Florida, so it would be a little bit longer trip, which is more money, and I feel like next year is just a better year to do that. So that's okay. I'm still going to the one in Las Vegas here in April, and then I am going to Stitch West because that one is also somewhat local to me. That one is in Utah, We have family in Utah, so I can stay with family, which helps out with cost. And it gives me a time to see everybody, which is fantastic. So I'm still going to Stitch West, still going to Stitch Shenanigans, and hopefully going to the Acorns and Threads retreat. But we'll see. Right now, waitlist. That's okay. Let's see. Anything else going on over here? Nothing really. Busy life. My daughter, it just occurred to us that she is going to be a sophomore next year, and she only has a couple months of school left. So that's crazy. Finished spring break already. She's in her final quarter. I don't know where time goes, but just happy time still moving, right? So, all right, nothing else on this video. I will hopefully see you guys in a couple of weeks. Any comments about anything that I am stitching or any plans, please leave them below. I enjoy reading through all of your guys' comments. I do try to reply to every comment as they come in, or maybe the next day. So looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to filming in about 2 weeks. I put it on the calendar. I made my little to-do list for April, and stitching and filming is top of the list. So fingers crossed on that. And it is now time to run an errand with my daughter and then do some stitching all night. So bye everybody, happy stitching, and I will see you next time.